Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Mental Training Thursday. This week's topic is the power of gratitude. Before we jump into that, we are going to answer a question from last week's topic on shoulda, woulda, couldas.
So last week, an athlete asked during this time that they were having a hard time of letting go of shoulda, woulda, couldas. What advice would you have on how to tackle that?
So one of the important things to remember about anything that we're trying to work on and adapt and change in a way that's going to be helpful is to remember that you have to practice things. It's not going to be an immediate take. So just because you're aware that shoulda, woulda, couldas are happening in your mind, which is a version of a self-talk that we talked about in a prior mental training, is just because you've recognized them doesn't mean that they're automatically now going to disappear or go away. And speaking of automatically, we talked about automatic negative thoughts, ants, and how, we all have those that'll come up. Like, that's a very normal thing for us to experience. The challenge being, if we put more focus on them, we're giving them more power. So to kind of give you a summary nutshell of the shoulda, woulda, coulda that we talked about last week, and there were two other topics that we talked about so far in our mental training and mental lifts, is about mindful awareness and about self-talk. So shoulda, woulda, couldas are another form of self-talk. Those messages are things that we might be repeating to ourselves in our minds. Sometimes they can be helpful, other times maybe not so helpful. And with mindful awareness, you can pay attention and notice when those less than helpful self-talk phrases or those shoulda, woulda, couldas are coming up for you. And again, it's not about just, oh, well, now I know that they're there. We have to be able to adapt and pull from different skills in our toolbox that we're building out and weave them in a creative and unique way each time, because it's not always going to look like the same thing every single time, right? Situations change, how you're feeling in the moment can change. And so it's really just, one, accepting and being okay with, hey, this just popped up for me, and then using that mindful awareness to be able to recognize that and then say, so how do I shift my focus and take the power out of those negative thoughts or less helpful thought processes, automatic negative thoughts, and how do I redirect my focus into something that's going to be motivating for me or is going to help reframe my mind towards a skill and a strategy that's going to help me to achieve what I'm looking to achieve right now. So thank you again for sending in the questions. We're always happy to answer them. Please feel free to email them to me at mac.brown@colorado.edu, and we'll spend a minute or two in the beginning of our talk next week to answer them.
So Mac just talked about that. How do I recognize it and shift my focus to something that might be more helpful, and gave different ideas with that. Today's topic, as I mentioned earlier, is the power of gratitude. And I think it's very easy for us as humans and then athletes too, right? Like it's pretty easy to get caught up in the things that aren't so helpful or focusing on that negative thing, like a missed play, or, in the time of COVID, something that we lost, something that is no longer the same. And getting caught up in those thoughts, it's important to recognize that. And then there is a way to shift to using it as an opportunity, using it as something that can, for example, allow you to learn more in your sport and grow as an athlete, or during the time of COVID, recognizing that maybe there are some silver linings about this time that will allow you to reconnect with your sport in a different way, or take a step back from how you do things on a day-to-day basis and reevaluate, how do your values line up with that? And one way to recognize and make that shift to the opportunity is to start to recognize those things that you are grateful for.
Yeah, and another piece of what is so powerful about focusing on gratitude, which can be a very positive and motivating aspect to focus on in our day-to-day lives, is that it helps shift your mindset more towards that growth mindset, as Rachel was mentioning, of like noticing where are these things that are happening and how can I learn from them, rather than getting stuck or fixed on, oh man, this happened. So there's something that we talk about a lot that does come up called the negativity bias, where we're more likely to focus on that one bad thing that happened rather than those 5 good things. It's kind of like on a seesaw, the negativity bias is going to tip the scales, even if there are more positive things that have been going on. And that can keep us stuck in that fixed mindset around, oh, rather than that growth mindset of, oh, okay, well, there are these things over here that I'm really grateful for, that now I have something that I can learn from and move forward with or try differently next time. And so that's another really important piece that gratitude can play if it's something that you're practicing more regularly, is that it can help balance out that seesaw scale for you rather than it tipping in a not as beneficial direction.
So you might be asking yourself, well, how? Like, how do I do that? How do I make that shift from the shoulda, woulda, couldas, or those unhelpful thoughts, or focusing on the negative, even though there's all these positives? And so what we're going to do today is run you through one exercise that could help you to do that. So what I want you to do is, just to kind of get us started in this exercise, I want you to spend a moment and just maybe close your eyes. If you want to keep them open, that's fine. But reflect on this thought and really, or this question, and try to really imagine what it would be like. What if you woke up tomorrow with all the gratitude you ever wanted? What would your day be like? Really imagine that. Sit with it. Okay, now what I want you to do is, if you have all the gratitude you could have ever wanted, right? All the gratitude you could have ever wanted, what would you be thinking? Imagine that. What would you be feeling? How would it feel to be grateful, be able to focus on those positive things more so than getting caught up in the negative? What would you be doing? Would you be doing things differently? What do you see when you imagine yourself having that gratitude? Do you hear things differently? When you're interacting with people, how do you view the conversation? How do you hold yourself? Just notice what you're focusing on if you had that gratitude. Does it feel different? And that was a little bit of a primer, because what we're going to do now is start to build that resilience muscle by running you through gratitude imagery.
So to expand off of those questions that Rachel just primed you all for, make sure that you're comfortable, because this is going to take a few minutes here to do this. So get comfortable and take a few deep breaths. Just let your chest rise and fall with each inhalation and each exhalation. You can let your eyes close if that feels comfortable when you're ready. And as you're continuing to breathe slowly and deeply, just let your attention rest gently on that process of your breath. You might feel the movement as that breath is entering and exiting your body. Each time you're breathing in, if you notice any tension in your body, you can direct that breath towards it. And with each breath out, feel that spot have more space and be able to relax a little bit more. You might feel that relaxation spreading across your face, down through your shoulders, to your belly and legs. And on your next exhale, just settle your attention around the area of your heart. Focus on the feelings of love, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. Explore within yourself what these feelings and sensations are like for you to notice right now. And take another deep breath into the center of your chest where your heart lies. With your attention on your heart center, bring to mind something or someone you're very grateful for. And as you continue with your easy, relaxed breathing, perhaps you feel gratitude for being alive or healthy. Perhaps you're grateful for the abundance of nature that produces food that nourishes your body, or even the beautiful scenery that nourishes your soul. Notice what feelings are present right now in this moment. Allow your attention to be brought to people who truly nourish you in your life and how they bless you with their presence. Feel gratitude for your own life and the many gifts that you've been blessed with. Taking another deep breath in. And noticing now with your attention how gratitude feels in this area around your heart. With each inhale, let this feeling grow outwards from that center of your chest. Can further expand in that area all the way down through your arms and hands, your legs and feet. With each inhale, this feeling can keep growing, filling you up. Your body can remember these sensations of gratitude. At any point in the day, you might feel like you need them and help remind you of those things that make you feel so grateful. You can slowly begin to focus your attention back on your breath, that rise and fall rhythm. And you can go ahead and take one last deep inhale so that when you're ready on your next exhale, you can slowly open your eyes.
So with that exercise, see if you can go throughout your days and really try to bring back at different moments that feeling that you created in that imagery, the feeling of gratitude, and perhaps even some sensations. So with that, we're going to finish today with a quote. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Eckhart Tolle. Please join us next week for Mental Training Thursdays on the topic of motivation. And we hope to see you then.